Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dr. Uswe Champon, and I welcome you to our second lecture for week one for UGBS 303 Computer Applications in Management. So without wasting too much time, I'll share my screen and then we begin the lecture. Okay, yeah, so like I said, my name is Dr. Uswe Champon, and then this Computer Applications in Management, our second lecture for week one. So as usual, I remind you of the marks allocation. IE is going to be 50%, final exams is going to be 50%, and my office location is there, and my TA's name is also there. Then the grading, you know, so I keep reminding you in every lecture. So this lecture is about what you call advanced web search. So we are going to look at the various topics that or the various things that you are going to learn here. So what you will learn is first we will introduce you to what we call the search engines. Then afterwards we talk about what we call truncation, quotation marks, and wildcards. Then we also talk about what we call the search operators. And then we talk about creating the search statements. And also we look at the advanced search features. And then we look at how you can limit your search by date, language, or document type. And afterwards, what we will do again next week. Yeah, so first we talk about how search engines work. So most people think the internet search engines refers to what we call the World Wide Web search engines, but that's not the case. So before the World Wide Web even became the most visible part of the internet, there were so many different search engines in place to help people find information on the internet. But these are in the late 1980s, and there were some search engines with the name Gopher, Archie, Veronica, and so on and so forth. But these days, because the World Wide Web or simply the web has grown to the level that almost everything that we do is based on the web. So a lot of internet users now limit their searches to the World Wide Web or simply the web. So that's a little bit history about how search engines began and how they work. So beside the web, there are so many other services that run on the internet. And the first one is what we call the chat. But these days, because of the advancement of technology and with our smartphones, a lot of these things are done using our smartphones instead of our laptop, desktops, and the rest. But still, there are instances that people still use some chat based on an application that you are using. For instance, even in the Sakai LMS, there's a chat tool that we can have live interaction or discussions. So the chat just is about what we call internet relay chat or IRC. And that's for live discussions on the internet. So here it's not like email. Email is the one that you send and then it takes time for the person to maybe read. Sometimes the person may read it instantly, or it takes time for the person to look at it. But when it comes to the chat, it's something that is instant. So I send, the person responds, and then we communicate till okay with the communication that we are doing. So if you look at Facebook chat, for instance, most of the time it's something that is live. But at times too, you send a chat to somebody and then the person may respond instantly, or it may take time before the person responds. Then the next service that runs on the internet, apart from the web, is also what we call email. And as for email, we're all familiar with it. We have a lot of email accounts from, let's say, Gmail, Yahoo, and so on and so forth. So email is exchanging electronic letters, messages, and small files. So most of the time when it comes to emails, it's not only about the text, but there are times that we have to also do what exchange some documents here and there, two attachments. And that's what we mean by exchanging of small files and so on and so forth. Then the next one that is very powerful, and that's also very useful these days, what we call the file transfer protocol, or FTP. And that's the most common method of transferring files between computers via the internet. So when it comes to sending large files, for instance, email, Yahoo, or Gmail, for instance, can take maximum maybe 25 MB or 30 MB attachment. But when you have a file that is 1 GB, then you see that there's no way that you can attach it to any of the email that you have. So in that scenario, in that instance, that's where you need a file transfer protocol. So most of the time, platforms like Google Docs will enable you, or Google Drive will enable you to upload huge files that is beyond the 30 MB or 25 MB that the Google Mail can contain. So it's just a matter of, once you have Gmail account, you can open a Google Drive, which is virtually free of charge. They give you, I think, 15 GB or so, which is in the cloud, and you can save so many things. Microsoft also has one, they call it OneDrive. That's also one thing that you can also use. And all of them gives you the facility of the FTP. We also have what we call the Dropbox, and Dropbox will give you the same kind of facility whereby you can upload and download live files. Then we have hosting. So hosting, as the name implies, just making information available to others on the internet. So here, if you create or you develop a website, then definitely you have to host it. And usually you need an internet service provider who would give you the domain name, and then you have to pay for the hosting and so on and so forth. Then we have the mailing list. So the mailing list is a very simple concept. So if I send mail to an individual, then it's just a personal communication between me and individual. But for instance, if I want all the students in UGBS 303 to receive the message or the mail that I'm sending, then that's where I need a mailing list. So most of the time, the Sakai LMS has that feature whereby any course site has this feature, whereby if you upload any resource or material or create an announcement, or you create, let's say, assignment or even the test, then quizzes and so on and so forth, it will send bulk mail to every student to indicate and alert the student that this particular resource has been uploaded. So that's the concept of the mailing list. So if the university wanted some announcement to be sent to all students, we create one list for students and call it, let's say, student list. There's one called staff list, one called faculty list, and so on and so forth. And all of them will go to specific group of people. The same message is blasted and it gets to specific group of people, depending on whether you fall in that category or not. So mailing list is email messages forward to everyone on a special interest list. And then we have the search engine. So these tools are really a part of the World Wide Web and are often used when looking for information, because the web has grown so large and it's without any inherent organizational structure. So that's what the search engines are all about. And the web is so huge in the sense that sometimes locating a specific information is difficult. And that's what we are here for. So we'll use the search engines, and you see that when you search for a basic information, sometimes you see a lot of irrelevant information. And the advanced web search will help you to filter and get the required information that you really need. Then we also have what they call the telnet. So telnet, we say, the creation of a dumb terminal session to a host computer in order to run software applications on the host system. In essence, all that we are trying to say is, I'm here in Ghana, but I have somebody in abroad that I want to, use the person's computer. So through telnet, they can create some terminal session for me, and then I can run the application through that particular, host computer, not from my machine per se. And that's what telnet concept is all about. Now we also have what we call the Usenet. So Usenet is about news group for receiving news and sending out announcements. So in essence, that's what Usenet is all about. Some of them are not as popular as they used to be, because these days the web is so popular, and because of social media and the rest, most of them are now becoming obsolete. Then we also have the World Wide Web, or simply the web, as we talk about. So this is the largest, fastest growing part of the internet. The part for which the internet browsers like Netscape Navigator and Microsoft Explorer were designed. But these days, nobody is even using Netscape Navigator. I don't know if it's still there. Explorer is there. If you use, Microsoft Windows 10, then they have renamed, the new one is called Edge. But a lot of us are using Google Chrome. We also have our Safari. We have our, Opera, and so on and so forth. There are so many Mozilla Firefox, and there were so many of the, internet browsers that are there. So the web search, before we do that, we must understand there's some basic concepts here. The first thing is what we call the spider web. So what do we mean by the spider web? So Google is a website which uses the spider web method in order to accurately find website that you are interested in. So we all know how the spider web looks like. So the spider will weave it, and then he may be in the middle, and then he can move around. And that's in essence how websites are, or how they look like. And that's what we mean by this spider web. So we are going to look at the advanced search techniques. So the advanced search options are a set of very useful features which offered by most search engines and search tools on the web. So the advanced search gives the web searcher the ability to narrow their searches. That's very important. So the first thing is narrow, how you will be able to filter and get specific information that you want. So to narrow their searches by a series of different filters, that is language. So you can search by using different languages. So later in the lecture, we will look at how we can even search with some of our local languages. And then with proximity. So proximity is how close the information to you. So when I'm at the University of Ghana campus and I search for something that is from University of Ghana then within few seconds, I'll have to get that information because I'm very close to the information. But I'm in University of Ghana campus and I search for something outside this campus. What happens is based on the proximity, if you look at Legon here, if it's not here, then maybe to look at the regional level, Greater Accra. If it's not there, look at the national level. If it's not in Ghana, then it will extend to, let's say, the West Africa sub-region. If it's not here, then the entire Africa. If it's not in Africa, then it will go to the rest of the world. That's how proximity is all about. Then domain. So domain is more about the scope. So the subject that you are looking for, the wider the coverage, and so on and so forth. So that's what most of the search engines will do. Now we can also do what we call multimedia searching. So multimedia searching is more about, multimedia is about video, audio, and then text all of them in some kind of animations or graphics combined together. So there are times that you can search using videos, pictures, and so on and so forth. And that's what the multimedia search is all about. So we say multimedia searching, such as videos, pictures, and how to use someone's media legally is also something that we can do. So how search engines work? How do they work? So the search engine tells you where a file or document can be found, but first the file must be located. So that's the first thing that we do. And search engines use special software robots, which is known as spiders, to build a list of the words found on millions of web pages. So there are so many different web pages out there. These days, every organization, whether it's an educational institution, it's a non-governmental institution, it's a business entity, and so on and so forth, is building content. So there are millions of web pages out there. Every website is made up of so many different pages within the site. And because of that, anytime that you search for any information using the search engine based on the robot, which is known as software robot, which is known as the spider, it will look for all these web pages and filter and bring you the necessary information based on your search criteria. And that's how search engines work. So when the spider is building its list of the words, the process is referred to as web crawling. So when you are asked this in exams, all that you say is web crawling is the process whereby the software robot, which is known as the spider, build its list of words based on the search criteria that you have given to it. So the usual starting point for the spiders are heavily used servers and very popular pages. So based on the criteria, based on what you type, the phrase that you type, that's how the spider is going to use to build the nest, and it will search for so many very popular pages. So the spider begins with a popular site and indexes the words on these pages and through every link found within the website. And that's why when we search, we get so many irrelevant information based on what we type. So we are going to do it very soon for you to see. So the spider first look for words in the title. Every website has the title. So if you look at the top of the browser and the page that you are looking at, they will give you a title. It will give you a title, then subtitles, meta tags, and other positions of relative importance for special consideration during the user search. So the Google spider was designed to index every significant word on the page, leaving out articles like a, an, and the. So this is just telling us that when you type a phrase, for instance, computer applications in management, computer, it will search for it applications, it will search for it, but in is not part of it. And then management, it will also search for it. So based on the phrase that you type, articles like a, and, there, and so forth, those things will not be included. So other spiders like Alta Vista take different approaches. So depending on the engine that you are using, then they have different approaches that they use to build the list. But how are we able to get the relevant information when we search? All these things are made possible by what we call data centers. So this is a typical data center that may be built by Google or Amazon or Microsoft or the giants in terms of the University of Ghana. To thank God, we have one of these here. That is where we host our web. We have web service where we are hosting most of the resources, like our library resources, then students, information, faculty information, then the MIS web. That's where you get a lot of your information from in terms of your courses that you've registered, your transcript, your tuition information, accommodation, and so on and so forth. So all those things are there. But here we are talking about the one that used for this web. So a lot of web servers exist in the data center. So you see all our online activities, including the web services, are made possible by data centers around the world. And an organization like Google, for instance, will build so many of these things and scatter it all over the world. And that's why it's difficult for it to be shut down, because once one center is going off, another center will take over. So maybe in Africa, they may build 2 or more. One may be in South Africa, one may be in Egypt and another region. And so if the one in South Africa is maybe going off, then another one will take off, so that always the service is available. And that's how the data centers are built to service us. So now we look at how we do the searching. So the first thing is the basic searching. So first, you must narrow your search. So only use words that are keywords to help narrow the number of searches. Don't type a full paragraph. Don't type a full sentence in your search. Those ones will bring a lot of irrelevant information. So use specific keywords. Then the next one is you don't type long sentences. I've just said it already. So don't type long sentences, just use keywords. And also use size based upon what you are looking for. For instance, if the thing that you are looking for is purely about videos, then it's better you go to YouTube and search for it there than using a search engine, because YouTube also has a search feature that will enable you to do that. And that's what this point is trying to say. So if you are looking for videos, use YouTube. If you are looking for images, use something like images.google.com. But these days, even on the normal google.com, when you search, there's a button or a link that says images. So you just click on it and then it will show you images instead of the text. So that's what we mean by you use size based upon what you are looking for. Now we look at 2 important things, the truncation and quotation marks. So the 2 most useful advanced search techniques are what we call the quotation marks and then the truncation or wildcard. So what is the quotation mark? We all know the double quote. So you open it and then you put your phrase inside and then you end it. That's the quotation symbol. So here we say the quotation marks are used around phrases. That's very important. You'll see it very soon. You will search without the quotation mark and you see what you get, and you search with quotation mark and you also see what you get. And then from there, you decide which of them you use, whether you search with the quotation marks or you will not search with it. So by using the quotation marks, you are telling the computer to only bring back pages with the terms you type in the exact order you type them. That's very, very important. That's why I'm reading the whole phrase. It's saying it will bring back pages with the terms you type in the exact order you type them. And that's why we use the quotation mark. So if I want computer applications in management to appear the same way that I type it, then I use the quotation mark. But if I just type computer application in management, then I will explain what will happen as we move on. So for example, we can say we are searching for healthcare reform. So if we put healthcare reform in quotation mark, then the search engine will bring healthcare reform the exact way that we have typed it in the title and also in the content, the same exact way that we have typed it. So if we do not use the quotation mark, what is going to happen is the search engine will first search for the word health. So the word health will be searched for the whole world. Anywhere that it will find a web page containing the word health, it will bring that one. Then it will also search for the word care. Anywhere it sees the word care, it will bring that one. And reform, anywhere it sees the word reform, it will bring that one as well. So if you don't want to get a lot of irrelevant information, that's the main reason why we have to search using the quotation mark. another one is this. For example, if you are interested in finding information on social networking, it is best to search for social networking in quotation marks. Otherwise, the computer might search for social and networking and find many more irrelevant results. So as I keep on saying, so this is just telling us that if you search for social networking in quotation mark, you get this results. But if you search for social networking without the quotation mark, you get this result. So at this juncture, let me demonstrate what we have done so far for you to really understand what we are doing. So you just open the browser and then make sure you open this tab. I've already opened my browser, so I have a lot of different tabs that are open, but I just go to a new tab and then Google has been open for me already. But let me start afresh. So I will just type www.google.com. Then I enter. So once I do this, then I get the Google, search engine. So here, the first thing that we type is health care reform. So once we do that, we press enter. And then after that, look at what has happened. So you look at the top here, and then you see that just below here, after the search box, just below here, you see it's telling me the number of pages that it has found within 64 seconds. So they say about 267 million results within 0.64 seconds. If I scroll down, then it is going to group them in 10 on the page. So it will build a list for me, and it will be 10 on the page. So if I click next, then it goes, so it's up to 10 here. So I have to continue next. And how am I going to look at this 267 million results? It's going to take me forever. So because of this, that's why we said it's better you restrict it and you use the quotation mark. So let's see. We said healthcare reform. So here we have healthcare reform coming from Wikipedia, and we can see it here as well, healthcare reform. Let's go down, and here we see healthcare reform, why, what, when. So that one too is there. But here you see that if you look at the content, you see new reform. You do not see the healthcare reform, but you see reform there. And here too, advancing healthcare reform. But here the healthcare is one word, so it has combined it. And then US healthcare system. What is healthcare reform? Healthcare reform, blah, blah, blah. So there are so many things out there, but the essential thing is giving me 267 million results. Now let me put the quotation mark around the phrase. So you put the opening and then you close it like this. And that's what you mean by putting quotation marks around the phrase. Then you press enter. And then you see that instead of 267 million, now it's better I open another tab so that you understand what we are doing well. So google.com again. So let me type health care reform. So without the quotation mark, it's giving me 267 million. Now with quotation mark, it's giving me 7,290,000. So you see that I've been able to get rid of over, let's say 90% of what it was giving me initially. And here, if you look at it, because we put it in quotation mark, we said it should return it in the exact phrase the way we type it. So if you look here, healthcare reform, you see it there. Now come down, healthcare reform, the same thing is appearing, healthcare reform. Healthcare reform. If it's not in the title, it will be in the content. So all of them, you see the word healthcare reform in the exact order in which we type it. And that's what we mean by searching with quotation mark and getting the exact phrase the way that you type it. So if you get to the 10th one and that's not what you need, then you click on the next down here, and then it will load another set. So it has now changed to page number 2. I was on page 1. So the same thing, healthcare reform. Healthcare reform will be in all the links or in the content, the exact way that we type it. And that's how we use the quotation mark in our section. The second example that was given is about what? Social networking. So let's go and search for that one too and see what we get. So here we go and remove this one and we type social networking. And then we enter. So when we do that, look at what is happening. Because social media is now so popular, it's saying about 557 million results. in 89 seconds. Wow. So 557 million results. How am I going to know which one is which one really I'm looking for? So you see social networking service, social network. This one does not bring the networking, but they just network. Then social network again. What is social networking? So you have to go through and see the one that you want. Now let's go and use the quotation mark. So I'll remove this one and then type social networking like this. Then enter. And you see that here we were having what? 557 million results. Now we put it in quotation mark and it is giving us only what? 65,200,000 results. So you realize we have been able to cut over maybe 95%. I'm not sure, but a lot of irrelevant information is gone. And now it will give me the exact phrase, the same way that I type it. So social networking, let's see if it's giving me here. So you see, social networking is here. Social networking is here as well. Social networking. Social networking. So either it will be on the title or it will be on the page, and all of them will give me the exact phrase the way I type it. Now let's try another one. So let's try a simple sentence, although we don't set a sentence, but let's try that. So you say Kofi is a boy. Let's try this one. Enter. And then it's saying Kofi is a boy. It's giving me what? 8,070,000 results in 53 seconds. And why is this so? It will search for Kofi, and anywhere it sees Kofi, it will bring it. Then it will search for boy, anywhere it sees boy, it will bring it. Is not part of it. Now let's go and put it in quotation mark and see what we get. So Kofi is a boy. Enter. And now you see, instead of here, which is what? 8,070,000 results. Here in quotation mark, I'm getting what? Only 1,790 results. And it's so because it's now searching the exact phrase the way I type it. So you see, Kofi is a boy here, Amma is a girl. Then boy named Kofi. But you see, the Kofi is a boy appearing here. Kofi is a boy appearing. Kofi is a boy appearing. So any of the links that you see, the exact phrase in which we type it will be there. And here it's only about 5 of them. So if I click next up to the 5th one, if you click on the 5th one direct, then you see that it ends it. And because we are having, now it's even saying page 5 of about 38 results. So let's go back to the beginning again. And then we got about 1,790 results from 8 million results. And that's the main reason why you have to always search using the quotation marks. It's very powerful and you shouldn't joke with it. Okay, let's continue. So the next thing that we look at is adding a minus to your set phrase. So as we all know in mathematics, minus is about omission, removing something, deducting or deduction. So here we say adding a minus to a specific word tells the search engine not to search for size related to that particular word. So as the name implies, to omit some specific phrases or some specific keywords based on what you do. So for example, if you are interested in finding information on social networking, but you don't want anything to come from Twitter, so you can say social media networking minus Twitter. In this case, you are telling the search engine to search for social media networking, but it shouldn't bring anything that is coming from Twitter. And that's what it means. So let's try that one too as well and see what we get. So we go to here without the quotation mark. So you say social media networking. So social media, I typed this one wrongly and it has underlined it to indicate that is typo error. Yeah, so social media networking. Then we search. So it's saying what? 511 million results. And the reason is it's going to search for social, going to search for media, going to search for networking. But we said we are adding minus to it. So you say minus, and then we put Twitter like this. So what we are trying to tell the browser is this time, the search engine is this time around, search for social media networking, but don't bring anything from Twitter. So from 511 million results, let's see what we get. So now it has filtered and it is giving us 308 million results. So almost over 200 million results is gone. So that means over 200 million results of social media networking was coming from Twitter. Let's go and repeat the same thing. But this time around, we are going to use the quotation marks and see if it will filter further for us. So we do this, and now we put social media networking like this in quotation mark minus Twitter, and let's see what we get. So it's what? 416,000 results. Let's look here. So here, without the quotation mark, we are getting 308 million results. But when we put quotation mark around the phrase, then you see that it's giving us only 416,000 results. So that's how powerful the quotation mark is, and you can combine it with others. So we have been able to combine the quotation mark together with the minus. So the minus says omit some of them. So we don't want to see anything about social media networking, which is coming from Twitter. That's what this phrase here I've typed means. So take note of this thing because you meet a lot of these things in your IA and the FANA exam. So you must know when to use the quotation mark. You must also know when to use the minus and what each one of them stands for. Now we look at the next one that we term as truncation and wildcast. So instead of us filtering, the truncation and wildcast will rather broaden our search. So most of the time we don't really bother much about this, and even in Google we don't use it for, because already Google is giving a lot of information. So why do you then bother about adding more wildcasts that will even broaden it? So you say these are used to widen the search results. This ensures you don't miss relevant records. But these days, the search engine, the spider web robot is so powerful that it will give you a lot of anything that you need. So most databases are not intelligent. They just search for exactly what you type in. So truncation and wildcast symbols enable you to overcome this limitation. These symbols can be substituted for letters to retrieve variant spellings and word endings. But like I said, these days, we don't bother much about that. So a wildcast symbol replaces a single letter, and it's useful to retrieve alternative spellings and simple plurals. So here what we are saying is, for instance, if you are searching for woman or women, if you type woman, it's going to search for only woman. If you type for women, it's going to search for women. But where we have A and Y for the woman or women, we replace it with just a question mark. So WOM question mark N says it should search for either woman or women. That's what that one means. Then the truncation symbol retrieves any number of letters, useful to find different word endings based on the root of the word. So here too, what the wildcard is doing is it will replace a single letter. So for instance, women or woman, men or man. So you just remove the A and then you put M question mark N, and that is what the wildcard symbol will do. But the truncation symbol is the one that will look for additional word based on the ending. So for instance, Africa, if you add asterisk to it, the asterisk means more than one letter. This question mark is only one single letter, but asterisk will bring more than one. So if you say Africa and end it with asterisk, then what it will search for is it will search for Africa, it will search for African, it will search for Afrikaans, and then Afrikaans. So after the asterisk, any additional letter that can be added to the word and form a different word is included, and that's what the word the truncation symbol will do. Then the agriculture, you don't add the Y, but you put asterisk after the R, then it will find agriculture, agricultural, and then agriculturalist, and that's what we mean by truncation symbol. So the truncation means to chop off. When you truncate, you chop off the end of the word so the computer can search for multiple endings, and that's what it means. So for example, if your research question includes the keyword education, you can truncate education so that the computer will find all of the word ending variations. So educat, you don't bring the Y, but you add asterisk to the educat asterisk. It will find education, educate, educated, educating, and so on and so forth. All of them, it will be able to find them. And that's what you mean by broadening the search for you. But the truncation, you have to be careful where you place the asterisk. So be careful where you place the truncation symbol. If you bring the Y and you add the asterisk, it will not find education or educating, but it will find educate and then educated. That's what it means. So be careful where you add the asterisk. So the truncation will not find synonyms. That is, if you type sign without the C and you add the asterisk, it will not find the words botany, biology, or astronomy, because that's not how it's designed to do. Although it may bring up articles on those topics. So if they include the word science, scientific, or scientist, so sign like this with asterisk is going to bring science, scientific, or scientist. Here, I will not demonstrate. You can practice it. It's not any big deal. Yeah. Now we also search with what we call Boolean operators. So most of the thing that we have done already is based on what we call and, or, and then not. So you realize I said if you type healthcare reform, it will search for health and then care and then reform. And that's what the Boolean operators are all about. So and retrieves records containing both words. So if you say finance and accounting, you are saying it should search and bring finance and also bring accounting. That's what it means. Then it narrows your search. Some databases automatically connect the keywords with the and. So when we type healthcare reform, we don't care bringing the and, but that's what in essence it does. Then all will retrieve the records containing either word. This is very important. So all will search for either finance or accounting. It will search for marketing or advertising. And that's what the all does for you. So you have to know the difference between the and then the or. And will search for both words. The or will search for either of the words or both. Then not retrieves your first word but excludes the second. So the not operator is something like using the minus. It's in essence almost the same thing. So these things that we are talking about here can also be combined with our quotation mark as we have talked about earlier on. So don't forget that and retrieves words, retrieve records containing both words, or retrieves either word, and then not retrieves first word but excludes the second word. So now these are the tips and shortcuts when it comes to the advanced searching techniques. So we said we use the quotation marks and it will search for the exact phrase that was typed. Then we also use the minus sign and it will tell the search engine to search for related sites, but omit some words based on what you specify. And then the Boolean words and, or, and not are Boolean words, which allow someone to refine their search and are powerful words for searching. So these are the advanced search techniques, and they are very, very important when you are searching for information. Now you can also search by date or language. And here we say many databases allow you to limit your search in various ways. So it depends on what you are doing. So limits are usually available on advanced search screens, or you can apply them after doing your keyword search. So example of the types of limits you can apply include what we call by date. So here we can be specific and say we are searching for only information that was uploaded today, or just last week, last month, only 2021, 2020, or a range from 2015 to 2021, something like that. That's what we are saying. So you can search by date. You can also search by language. So you decide whether you want to search by, let's say, English or Spanish or French or whatever you decide. Those are there that you can do. And then you can also decide by searching by what we call publication type. So here we will go and look at Google Scholar, and that's where we can be able to do most of these things that we are talking about. So example, journal articles, chapters in books, review articles that provide detailed summaries of research, book reviews, and so on and so forth. So these are some of the things that we can do when it comes to searching by date and language and so on and so forth. So let's see. Let's go to one that we term as Google Scholar, or that one I'll do later. Yeah, that will come later. So for now, let's move on. We'll look at it later. So we are going to a very important aspect of this lecture, and that is searching by file type. So far, all that's the searching that I've displayed is just generic. So it will go and bring anything, mostly text and so and so on. But now we want to be specific. So there are times that you can search and you say you want to return only Word documents, or you want to return only PDF files, you want to return only, let's say, PowerPoint slides, spreadsheets, and so on and so on. And that's what the searching by file types will do for us. So here, anytime you see an extension like .doc or .docs, then you are talking about document file. So file extension .doc stroke .docs. The .docs is the current one from 2010 upwards. That's what the extension is. We'll take you to all websites that come from our documents. And then The next one is the PDF, which is very popular. And most of you, during your long essay and the rest, you may need most of these things when you are searching. So the file extension .pdf will take you to all websites that are portable document format. That's what the PDF means. So we all know PDFs are very popular and very powerful. And then .ppt or .ppt, that's PowerPoint slides. So this slide that I'm demonstrating is PowerPoint. So file extension .ppt or .ppts will take you to all websites that are or contain a PowerPoint presentation. So that's it. And then if you want to get information about government website, then we can use .gov. So file extension .gov will take you to all websites that are government websites, and that's it. So now let's see if we can demonstrate some of these things here. So let's see, the first one says .doc.docs. So here we have what we call syntax, and in computer science or ICT, if you say syntax, syntax is just the what we call method or criteria in which you type a command, and that's what syntax is all about. So the syntax for this one says cite, then you bring column, you bring the domain name, and then the file type with the extension. So all that we are trying to say is, I want to search a specific website, then I bring the word site in front. Once I bring the word site, then I bring the domain name and then the file extension. So let me type it for you to really understand what we are doing. So we come back here, and this time around, what I'm going to do, I'll type the word site, and then I bring the column. Once I do that, then I type the domain name. So www. let's say ug.edu.gh. So all that I'm trying to say, the information I'm going to search for should be located on University of Ghana website. And then let's see. So once I do that, then I'll say file type. I'm not specifying any search phrase, but just file type. Bring another column, and then I'll say DOC. So that's what I'm trying to, do. So I'm telling the browser that search for all document files that are located on the site ug.edu.gh. Let's enter and see what we get. So you say nothing. So previously we were searching and we were getting a lot of information, but now nothing is coming. So you say your site this did not match any documents. Let me bring this one closer and see. Yeah, so now it gives me 34 results. So you shouldn't leave a space. So after the file type column, don't leave a space. And you see that it's saying 23 seconds, it gave me 34 results. And all of them I say should be document files. So you see DOC here, DOC here, DOC, DOC, DOC. So all of them are document file. If I click on next, and then that's it. Although it told me it's 34 of them, but after 10 next, it did not give me anything again. So that's it. So if I click on this application form, the moment I click on this link, then you see that it will download, and that's Word document that's coming from University of Ghana website. So that's what we can search for, and that's how it looks like. Okay, so let me lower it, yeah, and go back. So please look at the syntax once again. So site, then you bring the column, and then you type the domain name. That's the website address. That's what we mean by domain name. Then you leave space, you type file type, and then you bring the type of file. Let me bring X, add the X to it, and see what I'll get. So here is giving me 1112 results. So it means with the current version of Word, then we are having a lot of them, and all of them are doc. So you see, now I have a lot of them. If I click on this, and all of them, look at the top here, you see doc, meaning they are all document files. Now let me change from this and then bring PDF, enter, and then it's giving me 1,260 results. So it means we have a lot of PDF documents on our on the University of Ghana website. So if I click on next, then you see that it brings next, it brings. So now, instead of bringing the site, there are times that you can forget about the site entirely. But let me do one more and use another domain names. Let's say www.bbc.com, something like this. So what I'm telling the browser is I want to search specifically using bbc.com website, and I want to see only PDF files from BBC. Enter, and then you see that it's giving me what 72 results. And here you see PDF, 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 PDF. So that's how you search using some of these file types. Now let's try with Yahoo and see. So yahoo.com, enter, And then Yahoo does not have any PDF document. That's why it's giving me nothing here. So let's change it to, let's say, DOCX. The same thing, Yahoo does not have anything like that. And that's why I'm getting nothing. So if you search and you get nothing, then it means that particular site has not got anything like that. So let's come to our Ghanaian contest. So we have myjoyonline.com. Let's try that one. They have nothing. Then let's try PDF. And PDF, you see, they have about 18 results for PDF. And you see that the domain name myjoyonline.com PDF, domain name myjoyonline.com PDF. So Ghana World Economic Forum. If I click on this one, for instance, it is a PDF file and it will try to open it for me. This one rather is taking me to the site. It's still loading and it has made my browser slow. But to me, it shouldn't load the website. It should rather download a PDF for me. So I don't know why it's still loading. Let's wait a few seconds and see if it will open some PDF for us. Still loading. I don't know. Okay, because of time, let's move on. Okay, so PIAC 2014 semi-annual report. Let's try this one, public interest, and see if this one will load straight. It's the same thing. So I don't know why it takes you to their website before maybe it will do the download. Let me try the UG one and see. So ug.edu.gh and then say file type PDF. Yeah, so code of conduct for academic staff. Let me click on this. And you see that straight ahead, it opens it. So I don't know why the myJoyOnline one has to go to the website before. So here, if you want, then you can download this one as well. So the next thing that we want to do is this time around, we don't want any sites. We can remove the site, but we want the file type. So we can say social networking, social media networking, and we say file type PDF and enter. So it's giving me 34,700,000 results, and all of them you see PDF, PDF, PDF. So to be on the safer side, let's combine it with the quotation mark, and this is how we can combine different things. So once I bring quotation mark like this, so I want it to be in the exact phrase and gives me PDF. So do it again and see that it has filtered and it's giving me 211,000 results. By saying showing results for social media networking, file type PDF, no result found for this one, but it's rather giving me others. So that's why I said the spider web for Google is so powerful. So even if you are not getting any relevant information, sometimes it can filter and give you something as well. Now let's try another one. Let's say computer applications in management and see in quotation. So computer applications in management like this. And I want it to be PDF. So enter, and then it's giving me 118,000 results. So you see computer application management and you see PDF here. So if I click on this, then it should open a PDF file for me. Yeah, so you see that I have something about 219 pages and it says computer application management study material for MBA, one semester, blah, blah, blah. So if you go through, it's going to tell you something about computer application, just like we are doing. So it's not only about using our PowerPoint slides and the rest. You can also go and search for other relevant information about computer applications in management that you can learn from. And that's how we learn. I don't want to download this, so I'll just click back. Then if I go here, another one, computer application in management, blah, blah, blah. That's one, too, is PDF. So all of them that will come, if you click on this, all of them is going to give you PDF. So the difference between this one here and the one I brought the site is, with the site, I want it to come from a specific website. But if I do not bring the site, but I bring my search phrase and I bring the file type, it will also bring it. So if we do the same thing, this time around, we say site, and then say www.ug.edu.gh. Leave a space, and then you say computer application management. We are saying it should go and search for computer application management from ug.edu.gh website, and then the file type should be PDF. Let's try search and see if we can get anything. And it's giving us 7 results. So here, degree final examination time day for first semester 2019, computer application management. So you see that one. The another one, computer application in management, distance learning examination provisional, and all of them are PDF. So if I click on this, then you see that it opens the PDF, and there's a timetable showing the computer applications in management. So instead of so many of them now, I can see only 7 results, and you see that it does not give me the next button again. So that's how you can combine whatever we have learned so far, and then you can get relevant information. So let's go back to our slide. So that's how you can search using the doc, using the PDF, and then using the PowerPoint. So let's change the extension here from PDF and make it PPTX and see if you get anything. Then it's giving us nothing because there's no PowerPoint slides coming from the UG domain with computer application management. If I remove the domain from there, and then I just leave it computer application management, but I want it to be PowerPoint slides. Click next again, and then see that that one too says what? 0 results. Wow. So it means you will not get anything like this. But let's make it just PPT. Enter, and that's also the same thing, 0 results. So it means when it comes to computer applications in management, they say the exact way we type it, file type PPT, we will not get anything. So you decide which one that you want, but I can see one here, computer application in management, and this one is a book, but it's not a PowerPoint slide. If it's a PowerPoint, then it has to display the list for me. So that's how you go about searching for some of these things. Now let's try this last one here, which says Ghana government, and then we say file type gov. So let me copy, and then let me paste it. So we just remove everything here, and then we just type it. So here we are saying we want Ghana government, and then all the file type that we want should be government site. So we click on enter, enter, and then you see that it's giving me 1,030 results. And then you see that the address ends with gov, address ends with gov, address ends with gov. But I just said Ghana government, but it's giving me other gov. And the reason is Ghana, it will search for Ghana, and it will also search for government. So if I wanted the exact way, then I have to bring the quotation mark around it. So quotation here, and then quotation here. So in this case, it should come from only Ghana government, and then enter, and see that it gave me only 5 results. So we says, where is it? Ghana government here, another one, Ghana government, another one, Ghana government, Ghana government, Ghana government. So anywhere it sees the word Ghana government, it will bring that results for me. So that's how we search by the file types. Okay, so let's continue. And there's a very powerful search tools that you really need. A time will come that you are doing your long essay and you need to download a lot of relevant information. So you combine the file types with the quotation marks and the minus sign so that you'll be able to get and filter and get the relevant information that will help you. Now we also have other advanced search operators. So we have what we call the all in title, and then in-text, in-text, and then all in title, and so on and so on. So the all in-text is about looking for a specific phrase within the website. So we say this operator will help you find whether all the terms that you are looking for shows up in the text of that page. So this operator, however, is pin accurate because it won't look for text on the page that appears close together. But all that we are trying to say, for instance, you want to search for University of Ghana, and then you want the word accommodation from the University of Ghana site. So you type University of Ghana and then you say all in test accommodation. So here it will search for University of Ghana within, accommodation within the University of Ghana site. So let's go and try that one and see what we get. So I'll just copy it the same way that we have typed, copy, and then we move to the browser, delete whatever we have here, and then paste it there. So you see that you can do the same when you download the slide. So you see that University of Ghana, and then you say all in test column accommodation. Afterwards, enter. And then it's giving me 23,100 results. And then look here. So it will give me accommodation, University of Ghana, accommodation on campus, and it's still coming from University of Ghana. So all of them will come from the UG website, and then mostly it will talk about accommodation, and you see other images that are coming. So that's in essence what the all in test here is doing. So the word accommodation from University of Ghana site is being displayed. Then we have another one that is more broader than the all in test. And here we're saying the in test. This operator is a more global operator, which allows you to find any term showing up on a web page in any area. So here, this is about the content, but here it will search in the title, the page itself, the URL, and elsewhere. And so the in test is even more powerful than the all in test, because the all in test will search for the content, but the in test will search for the title, it will search for the pages, so it will search for the URL, and so on and so forth. So let's remove this, and then this time around replace with in test instead of all in test. So the all in test give us 23,000. Let's search for the in test and see what we get. So that one is giving me 573,000, because the in test will search for so many different locations in terms of the title, in terms of the URL, and so on and so forth. So that's how you can also do this kind of search. Another one is what we call all in title, and as the name implies here, we are looking at the title of the site. So you say this search operator is a great way to find blogs which match the content you are writing about. For example, you could use all in title to research what others are doing for that particular topic. Then you could write your post to be better than this. So you type all in title, and then you bring column and you say Banku and Okro. So let's see what we get with this particular kind of search. And a lot of you are going to see images that will make your mouth watery. So yummy, yummy. So all in title column, then you see Banku and Okro. Enter, and then you see we get 843 results, and look at some of the images popping up. Oh, wow, this is interesting. So you see here Banku and Okro soup. And then another one, African food, Banku and Okro stew. Then how to cook Banku and Okro, how to prepare Banku and Okro. So you see that all of them will contain Banku and Okro in the title. That's what that one will do for us. So the all in title Banku and Okro will give us in the title that one. But if you use the one which says in title, that is even more, that is a narrower one. So you say the in title is a narrow operator which will find you more targeted results for specific search phrase. So if you wanted to find pages that are all about Banku and Okro, for example, the following is how you use it. So instead of saying all in title, you just say in title. So you just go here, and then instead of all in title, remove the word, the all from there, and just make it in title. The all in title give us 843 results. So in title, and then you see that one is even broader. So it's giving us 2,520 results. And that one too, you see the Banku and Okro here, it is also in the content, and then the same thing, Banku and Okro appearing. Banku and Okro should be in all of them, both in the title and some of them in the content as well. And here you have your links appearing once again, the next and the previous. So that's how you go about with the all in test, and then in test, or in title, and then in title. The next one is about the URL itself. URL stands for Uniform Resource Locator. So there are times that you want to see only the search phrase in only the URL and not anywhere. So you say this one allows you to find pages with your requested search terms within the URL in internal search pages. For example, say you wanted to perform research on pages on a site that had the terms Banku and Okro, you use the following. So you just say, this one, we are looking at the URL. So all in URL, copy, You copy it. Why? It's not allowing. Let me copy from here. So you copy it. Then you paste. So all in URL Banku and Okro, you enter, and it's saying 787 results, and then you see Banku and Okro in the link, Banku and Okro again, Banku and Okro, and so on and so forth. So in essence, that's what it will do. But most of the time, some of this we don't bother much about when it comes to some of this advanced search. You decide whether you want it or not. The last one is what we call in URL. So if you wanted to find pages on the site that have your targeted search term in the URL and the second term in content of the site, you can use this operator. So the in URL will rather search using the title, the URL, and the content as well. So you remove the or and you just type in URL, and this one will give you more broader search results. So it gives me 1,650, and the same thing. So Banku and Okro appearing here. Then when you continue on Banku and Okro, it should be in all the links here. So you decide, you can do this in URL Banku and Okro, and then you can say file type, column, then say PDF, and let's see if it will give us anything. So it did not give us anything. So it means there's no URL that will give us a PDF file. That's what this one is trying to imply. So if you combine and it does not give you anything, then it means that thing is there. But now remove the in URL and then just make it Banku and Okro file type PDF, and let's see if we can get anything. And you see that is giving me 4,250 results, and all of them will be PDF, PDF, PDF. If I want it in the exact way, so bring the quotation mark again, Banku and Okro, and then say file type PDF, and then you see now it's only 170 results. So try as much as you can and combine all the things that we have done together so that you'll be able to filter and get the relevant information when you are searching using a search engine. Then site-related info and cache. This I've already talked about the site already, so there's no need to bother much about it. So if you are looking for a specific website, for instance, youtube.com, that's where you want the site to come from. Then you bring the word site in front of it. They say this is used to search for a specific site, that's all. So to locate a specific site, put site in front of a site or domain, that's all. Then related is, as the name implies, this is used to search for related sites. So to search for related site, put related in front of a web address you already know. So related, then say Banku and Okro, and that's it. Then info, as the name implies, will give you an information about or details about the website. So this is used to get details of a site. So to get details about a site, put info in front of the site address. So you can say info www.ug.edu.gh. Let's try this one. It's not everything that I can try. Some of them you can practice as well. So let's see what this one will give us. So remove the example from there. Then you say info www.ug.edu.gh and see what it tells us. But you see, the moment you do that, it thinks I'm trying to maybe hack. So I have to indicate I'm not a robot, but it's providing, the first one will provide information about the site. So you say 2021, blah, 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 get in touch, blah, blah, blah. And then it's giving me something about University of Ghana address and so on and so forth. So that's what it does. Then cache. So one thing about the cache is anytime you search for any information using Google, then Google will keep a copy of that particular site the first time that you search. So next time that you search, it will bring the cache one. And that's why when we search within 50 seconds, 49 seconds, 89 seconds, it gives you a lot of pages. And it's because you're using most of the time the cache version. So you say this is used to see Google's cache version of the site. So to get Google cache version of a site, put cache in front of the site address. So the ug.edu.gh, instead of the info, let me remove info and then put the word cache here. And then when we enter, see what you get. So it's giving me 1,160,000 results about University of Ghana website alone. But how will I know if it's cache or not? So if you see this arrow pointing down here, click on it, then you see cache. Click on the arrow here to you see cache. So all the URLs that are there, if you click on the arrow beside it, all of them will give you, it's a cache version from Google. And all that is trying to tell him is all these are not directly from University of Ghana website, but it's coming from the ones that Google itself has, saved on its, service. And that's what you mean by the cache version. Now we look at Google Scholar, and as the name implies, it's a very powerful tool that we use when we are dealing with scholarly, literature or scholarly works of academics. So Google Scholar provides a simple way to broadly search for scholarly literature. So from one place, you can search across many disciplines and sources. You can get articles, theses, books, abstracts, and court opinions from academic publishers, professional societies, online repositories, universities, and other websites. So in essence, that's what Google Scholar is all about. So here, I will demonstrate and let you see what you can get. So to get Google Scholar, all that we do is we type scholar.google.com. So instead of google.com, you just add the word scholar in front. So scholar.google.com, hit enter, and this is what we call Google Scholar. So here the name implies more about academic literature. It can be textbooks and so on and so forth. So one thing that I can do is even every faculty that you want to see the works that they have been involved in terms of their research background and the rest, you just type their names here. If you type my name, it pops up. And then the works that I've done, you can see. So you see my name here, click on this, and then it gives my scholar page. So all the articles are published and all of them you can go through. That's what Google Scholar will do for you. So that's not the only thing. So here we are searching for academic literature. So you can just search for specific words. So the same thing that we were doing, computer applications in management, it pops up already. So select it. And then you see that it's saying about 5 million results in 0.09 seconds. And this all coming from Google website, Google service. So within 0.09 seconds, I'm getting 5 million results. And why am I getting this? Because it will search for the word computer and it will bring all information about computer on different web pages. Then applications the same, management the same. To avoid this 5 million, then use your quotation marks as we have learned already. So you bring quotation marks, search, and then you see that instead of 5 million, now I have only 144 results. Let's filter further. So we say file type, then you say PDF. So I'm telling it that I want only PDF files and nothing else. So instead of 144, enter, and then you see that I have only 47. And this is what you mean by getting relevant information. And all of them are PDF. I can download all of them. That's how we say. So if I click next, every page that is coming will be PDF. And that's what we mean by searching for relevant information. That's not all. So you remember I said you can search by date. So now I want to search for only the articles about computer application in management with PDF type. That was published only in 2019. Now on the left here is telling me anytime, and I got 47 results. Now I click on 2021 alone, and then you see that nothing. So it means 2021, nothing about computer application in management has been published. Now click 2020, and you see that I got 2 results for 2020. Click on 2017, and I got 18 results. Click on any time, then it took me back to the 47 results. Now you can also do custom range. So here you can say you want it between 2020 to 2021. Then you say search. Then it gives me only 2 of them. So that's what we mean by searching and filtering based on date. So you can decide how you want when you are in Google Scholar. So instead of this, I can now widen it and say from 2015 up to 2021, and then see it's giving me 19 results. So if I want all the 47 to come, just click anytime, and then it brings me this. So let's try something about, let's say, finance and accounting. So let me remove all the quotation marks. So we say finance and accounting. Without file type, let's see what we get. So this one brought system. Let me remove system, but it gave me about 3 million results, but finance and accounting without anything. So that gave me 2,950,000 thousand results. Now let me put the quotation mark around it. And then give me 206. I want it only in 2021. And it gave me 1,700. I want to bring the file type. Now say PDF. And then it's giving me 501. I want 2020, 4,000 plus 2017, 16,000. So anytime that is 33,000. So 2021 alone, 501 results. So that's how you go about some of this search. You can also do the custom range I did. So from 2010 up to 2021, and that one is giving me 18,100 results. So that's it. And all of them are going to be PDF. So you can download some of these articles if you are doing any relevant research for it. Okay, yeah, so that's how Google Scholar works, and that's how you can get your search based on date. You can also sort by what we call relevance. So depending on whatever you are searching for, down here you see sort by relevance or sort by date. So you decide. So if I say sort by date, then it's going to sort by the date, and it's giving me, this says 13 days ago, so that's more recent. And this one says what, 41 days ago, 45 days ago. So it's giving me the ones that are more recent, and then it moves on. That's what it's doing. But if I say by relevance, then it will rank, and then the one that is more relevant in terms of finance and accounting will pop up first. So you decide which one that you want to use for your research. Now we can also do what we call multimedia search. So as I keep on saying, multimedia is about what? Pictures, it's about videos, and it's about audio. So that's what multimedia and text combine together. So Google gives you a feature whereby instead of me typing, I can also speak, and then it will search for it. And that's what we say, search by voice. So you say Google Voice Search or Search by Voice is a Google product that allows users to use Google Search by speaking on a mobile phone or computer. That's how the device search for data upon entering information. So instead of me just, typing, I can now speak and it will work. I'm using my earpiece. I don't know if it will still work, but if you go back to the Google search here, now you see this speaker button here. So that's search by voice. So if I click on it and I speak, then it will use the word that I speak, and then it will search for it. So let me try and see if it will work. So I click on it. Computer applications in management. And you realize this time I did not type, I spoke, and then it typed for me, and it gave me the computer applications in management. Let's try another one. University of Ghana Business School. So you realize I was
here is University of Ghana Business School.
Yeah, then I just spoke, and then it used my words to search. So that's what we mean by you searching by voice, and that's very, very important. If you feel lazy, you can use that one as well. Then legally using pictures or videos. So people who own multimedia files have Creative Commons licenses. This means they can let us use their media or not. So all rights reserved, meaning we must get permission from the owners before we can use the media. So we have to be careful when we are downloading some of these things. Then you can also use the Google images. So you can use a picture as your search to find related images from around the web. So that's why you can go and try how you can search using images. But some of these things are not that important. Now we look at what we call advanced search. So to enter the Google advanced search page, you type the URL www.google.com/advanced_search, and this will give us this page that we have here, and that's what we mean by Google advanced search. And when you get to the advanced search here, you can search by any language, by region, and then you determine the time that you want to search. You can also search by a domain or site. You can also use different terms, and then the file type and all those things that I talk about, we can do those things here. They say through this page, you can do some of the filtering explained earlier by typing the required text in the text boxes and clicking on the advanced search button. So I click on the advanced search button without typing anything, will bring the next slide. But before we do that, let me demonstrate the advanced search. So let me close some of this. They are becoming too many. So just go here. Yeah, and then here I'll type www.google.com/advanced. underscore search like this. So that's what you mean by advanced search. Enter, and then you enter this page, what you call advanced search. So here you can type your search phrase here, and you say type the important word, tricolor or blah, 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 you type. And then this exact word or phrase. So instead of you using the quotation mark, like I was saying, you can also do the same thing here. Type it, and then it will bring the exact phrase. Any of these words. So if you want some specific words, so you want words like miniature or standard, then the or operator, Boolean operator we talk about, then none of these words. So maybe you are using the minus or omission. So example, you put a minus sign just before whether you don't want minus rodent, minus Jack Russell, and so on and so forth. Then numbers ranging from, so you determine, you can practice some of these things on your own. Then you can also narrow your search by language. So you see there are so many different languages here that you can type. Here you will not see the local languages. The next one that we do, you see that. And then region, you can search by different regions like I give. So you can search within a country. And then last update, so you can search. All of them examples are here. So you read, you see. Then you can search within a site or domain, as I was talking about. Then terms appearing anywhere in the page, the in title, in text, in URL, those things that I was demonstrating, they are also here as well. And then show explicit results, or you can do what's called safe search, so that whether to filter sexually explicit content and so on and so forth. Then file type, so the file format, PDF. I demonstrated very few of them. I did not even show Excel, but I showed Word, and then I showed PDF. So there are others as well that you can also search for using the file type here, and then usage rise. So you can also look at find pages that you are free to use yourself. So all these are also there that you can practice. Anything that you put on all this here, then you click on advanced search, and then it will give you that information. But if you do not type anything and you click on advanced search, that's what this particular slide, the next one, was going to talk about. So it says, click on the advanced search button without typing anything, brings the web page on the next slide. So this is what you see. And that's where you see where Google will give you the local languages. So you see Google offered in Hausa, Akan, Ewe, and then Ga. So here you can search with these 4 local languages. I don't know if other local languages are available, but you can also try your hands on them and see if you can get. So now we go back once again here, and then we click on advanced search. And now, once you do that, you see Google offered in Hausa, Akan, Ewe, and then Ga. So if you click on Akan, for instance, and then you see Google Adishushe, Eda, or whatever. Then if you go to Ga, I can't speak Ga, so don't laugh at me. Then Google whatever, Nitaumo or whatever. Then this one too. Then in Hausa, you see whatever is also there. I don't know, Manima, Google or whatever. And then in Ewe, please don't laugh at me. Google Nudidi, and then this one, I don't know. So that's how we can search using our local languages as well. So let's go back to English. Now, if you do not type something and you click on what we call I'm feeling lucky. So you see that we have here, one can search in some local language shown under Google Fading. You see that one here. But I click on the I'm feeling lucky button, displays what we call Google Doodle archive. So if you click on I'm feeling lucky, it brings you to what we call Google Doodle. So let's see what the Google Doodle is all about. So if I click on this button without typing anything, then see what you get. So it says Google Doodles archive. So the Doodle is something that is more about celebration. So anytime, let's say, for instance, countries are celebrating their independence day, then you see that Google will give a different button. So you see that Ghana Independence Day 2021, if you click on this, then you see that that particular day, this is how Google show its search engine. So it brought the Ghana flag. So that's what Google Doodle is about. So Ghana Independence Day 2021, you can read about why it has changed, and it's giving you that one. And then you see where Ghana is located if you look at the world map. So that's what Google is telling us, the day in history. So there are so many celebrations out there that Google will change the button. So sometimes when you are using the search engine and you realize it has changed, then you can find out why it has changed, and then it will tell you the reason. It's based on some kind of history. So you see something here that is about somebody's birthday. So celebrate by police one, it is 186th birthday or so. So all these are about celebration. Then Lunar New Year 2017, South Korea. So look at how Google changed its, icon for them in 2017 South Korea. So that's what we mean by Google Doodle. So when you see some of these things, it's nothing. Yeah, so that's what the advanced search will do for you. So in conclusion, what we have done so far is more about getting more reliable searching by narrowing searching that can give you more reliable site when working on projects or papers. And then you are able to save time, because if you are able to narrow it and get the specific information, relevant information that you need, then you see that it saves you a lot of time. And that's what we have done so far. So thank you very much for your time. Next time that we meet, we are going to start with the application Microsoft Excel. I hope you enjoy this lecture. Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your attention once again. I hope you have enjoyed this particular lecture. So take your time. Like I said, I'll upload it on the Sakai LMS. Go in, watch it. And then if you have any comment here and there, put in the discussion forum after you log into the Sakai. Myself and my teams especially, they will assist you when it comes to some of these things. So I will just say goodbye, enjoy the rest of the week, and then hopefully we meet once again next week and start our application, Microsoft Excel. Goodbye and enjoy the rest of the evening.